From the latest cruise news and luxury resort openings to Disney updates, travel trends, and destinations around the world, this is the Elevated Escapes Report. I'm Mike.
And I'm Kristen. Each week, we'll bring you the stories, trends, and travel headlines that matter most to travelers looking for their next elevated escape. Let's get started.
First piece of business is U.S. domestic travel.
Yeah, we're heading into Memorial Day weekend, which is the traditional kickoff of the summer travel season. And if you are packing your bags for travel over Memorial Day, you are definitely not alone. There are 45 million Americans expected to hit the road or take to the skies over the holiday weekend, which is actually a slight increase from last year.
45 million total.
Yeah.
Between planes, trains, and automobiles.
Yep, that's Thursday to Monday, I believe.
Okay.
So, despite the economy and all the concerns globally in the world right now, the travel itch isn't going anywhere. People still want to get away.
Because why would they not?
Right. And the thing that surprised me a little bit was the list of the top 10 domestic destinations.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. This is, obviously Orlando, I understand. New York, Las Vegas, Miami. Okay. San Francisco. Mm-hmm. Seattle, Chicago, Denver, and Boston. That's interesting.
Yeah, but Anchorage is kind of the big one on there that stood out for me.
Is that because of cruises, you think?
It is because of cruises.
Okay.
Alaska in general is just really in demand right now.
Maine's their hot season too, I believe. I think cruising is pretty popular in May.
Oh. Yeah, I
didn't mean like their warm season. I meant I think May's a good time to go up there.
Yeah, that would make sense. So yeah, things to think about if you're taking to the road or the skies this weekend. Looking a little further ahead, if your summer plans are including any national parks, you need to consider strategy right now. There is huge demand. Bookings are skyrocketing, and a lot of those are being snapped up by the guided tour companies. So if you are an independent traveler, you want to make sure that you are planning for heavy crowds and higher costs. You really shouldn't wing it. A lot of the parks are actually implementing visitor caps, and they are also doing timed entry reservations. So the three that are in the highest demand right now are Death Valley, Yellowstone, and Arches. Already reporting massive booking spikes from previous years.
Death Valley.
Yeah.
California.
Yep. So if you don't have your timed entry passes for Arches or Yellowstone, you want to get on the government website today and get those set up. Otherwise, you literally might get turned away at the gate, which would really stink.
Yeah, because I would think, as somebody who's not very familiar with the national parks, I would just pretty much wing it. And a lot of people who are into parks are people who like to wing it when they travel. They're in their RV or their van and just going all over the country and checking out different spots.
Well, but I think a lot of those people have the national park pass, and so they kind of know the ins and outs of it a little bit better, and they've maybe run into some of these issues before. I think if you and I were to do it, we would definitely kind of go into it blind and just say like, oh, we're going to go to Arches today, and show up when we get there and expect to be able to get in.
Now, would you want a third party if we did that? Tour guide?
I don't know.
Would I?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm terrified of those cats that come off the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to be walking around just the two of us aimlessly through a national park where there's cougars, mountain lions.
That's fair. But no matter when you go, they have park rangers and people who kind of exist to say like, hey, we've spotted these in the area and maybe don't go over this way, or they'll close different trails and stuff if they think there's a danger, I would assume. I've
just seen YouTube videos of people being stalked.
Yeah.
And having to turn around every 20 feet and start doing the big and yelling at the...
Yeah, that doesn't sound like
I'm
fun.
all set with that. Yes.
So you are maybe more about the international flights and the luxury escapes.
Yes.
Okay.
Put me on a plane. Now, we're looking at planes now. I don't even know if I can sit in regular class now. All these videos that we've been watching lately of first class, Emirates.
I know.
I can't
it's
afford
crazy.
It, though. $20,000 round trip from London to New York. That's insane.
Yeah. Well, and then you get some of the reviews for some of them that say they're really not that great. So, but for those of you who are thinking about air travel, due to the war with Iran and the prices of jet fuel, airline prices have spiked. April airfares were up 20% year over year, according to the Consumer Price Index.
That's a
which
lot.
is a significant chunk
That's
of
a lot because
change.
airlines really do try their best to keep prices down, and a 20% increase is significant.
Yeah, it is. The thing that caught my eye, though, was that for actually, if you booked your Memorial Day flights early, kind of before the fuel prices increased, you actually saved about 6% compared to last year. Which, again, that was before Spirit closed and whatnot. But again, because of these prices and because of the global unrest, some Americans are reluctant to travel internationally. But you do have the people who this is what they do, and they travel in the summers and they travel internationally because that's when they can go. So if you are thinking about heading overseas and you haven't booked anything yet, and if you have an interest in Greece especially, mark your calendars for June 26th because the Four Seasons is opening a brand new hotel in Mykonos.
Where's Mykonos?
Mykonos is one of the Greek islands.
Okay.
So this property really looks gorgeous. It is on the cliffs of Mykonos. It has direct beach access, which I think is, a big deal. And it's definitely going to be a hot spot. So Four Seasons is always known for amazing service.
We've asked you a million times, Four Seasons or Ritz-Carlton?
Four Seasons, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fair. I've stayed in neither, so.
Yeah. But if you want to stay closer to home, we can look at the Bahamas.
Oh, funny that you mentioned that because we just got back on a Disney cruise, which we will talk about in the next week or two. Our first visit to the Bahamas.
And you were very intrigued by Atlantis.
Well, who isn't? It's just a gorgeous property. We saw it on the ship when we were coming in. It's just very intriguing. It has so many fun activities for adults and kids. Water parks it's when I go to a resort, I like to just stay there and not have to leave. And Atlantis is definitely one of those resorts.
Well, they just so happened to have just opened a new exclusive private lounge. It opened on May 1st. It's called the Imperial Club.
Okay.
And the access is restricted to guests staying in the Royal Towers premium rooms or suite level accommodations. So the experience,
very exclusive.
Yes, it starts as soon as you step foot on property. You get private check-in. You get exclusive elevator access via the Imperial lobby. From 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., the lounge is open. They have complimentary breakfast. They have signature afternoon cocktail hours. They have evening canapes. And it is really meant to be a sanctuary inside this massive, huge, high energy resort. So
I'm on board. Sign me up. We're actually looking at flights from Tampa to Nassau, just in case we wanted to spend a couple days on the island.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of what we're talking about right here. High jet prices. And staying at Atlantis.
Yeah. But as you said, we did visit the Bahamas as part of a cruise. And there are some really cool cruise innovations that are coming around right now. Windstar Cruises is a small ship line. Not everybody is familiar with them. But they have some really unique under the radar itineraries that they've been doing for a while, but they're kind of highlighting them now. Because their vessels are downsized, they can access waterways that the bigger cruise lines just can't get to. They can't navigate. So one of the differentiators is that they are combining ocean and river cruises into a single itinerary. So they're going to waterways in places like Spain and Thailand, which aren't typical cruise destinations.
You don't hear
interior
of Thailand.
Spain.
Yeah, sure.
River cruises in Spain. I mean, that's not something I've ever come across.
So they're
until
doing
now.
exterior, interior is what you're saying.
Ocean and river, yep. Which I think is really cool.
Mm-hmm. They have some really nice boats in their fleet too.
Yeah. And, you know, these are, again, smaller ships. So this isn't the 5,000 passenger cruise ship. This is a much more intimate journey. And then Viking, which is becoming a bigger and bigger player, actually just got named to Time's 2026 list of the 100 most influential companies, which is a big deal. They landed in the disruptors category for companies that are just kind of changing the norms and challenging the, you know, company standards. And one of the things that they are doing is they're launching the Viking Libra, which is scheduled to be delivered at the end of this year. And it is the world's first zero-emission, hydrogen-powered ocean cruise ship.
Yeah, I know a lot of them are moving over that way. A lot of the European countries are very green, and they want the cruise liners who are coming into their ports to be green as well.
Well, and the cruise ships are kind of known for being very carbon heavy, a lot of carbon emissions. And so they're really trying, you know, across the board, but especially in Europe to get away from that. So this is a huge move towards sustainable travel, which is really important to a lot of people. Viking, if you don't know, is known for their adult-only, all-inclusive or mostly inclusive voyages. So they don't do water slides, they don't do casinos. They're big into cultural immersion. And one of the things that they are introducing in their river footprints is a cruise that's debuting next year on the Brahmaputra River in India. So, you know, cruising is just really cool right now. You know, you've got eco-friendly ocean liners, you've got remote rivers, and cruising is just kind of proving that it can pivot to meet the needs of the modern traveler, which I think is really interesting.
Do you think cruising's just taking off?
I don't think it's just taking off. I think it's reaching new audiences. I think for so long it was seen as something for retirees or, you know, it's what grandma and grandpa did when they got had vacation because they could go and, you know, gamble and get some sun. And now it's really just a floating hotel room. And in a lot of cases, a floating luxury hotel room. So,
because I'd like to do some research and read on trends. You just said it's open. They're opening the doors to a whole entire demographic.
Absolutely.
Completely demographics. It was your rich grandma and grandpa from the Hamptons who would go on a cruise and take their grandchildren for a week or two.
Usually in the Caribbean.
And now it's just sustainable for pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, when you can get on an entry-level cruise line for a couple $1,000s on a 7-night, I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you know, now you look at some of these itineraries overseas, and yes, you have the cost of the airfare to get there if you're not doing a transatlantic crossing or a Pacific crossing. But, you know, to be able to do these in India and Thailand is just really cool.
So anything intrigue you on the news this week? Any destinations?
I mean, Greece is on my bucket list.
It's always been on your bucket list. Yeah, that's intriguing. Of course, Atlantis is intriguing. Thailand, I'm all set.
Right, and I've already been. But I don't know. Any interest in India?
Not really. Not really. Too many people.
Yeah.
One of the bartenders on the ship was from India, and I was asking him. He said there's just so many people in India. It's just everywhere there's people. I wouldn't be able to deal with that. I'd have massive panic attacks. But then again, if I'm on a ship, I can just stay there. So
that's true. But if you're not like Mike and you are interested in India, let us know if this new Viking.
If you're a cultural enthusiast.
Viking itinerary is interesting to you.
Absolutely. I have nothing else.
All right.
That That wraps up this week's top travel stories on the Elevated Escapes Report. We'll be back next week with the latest travel trends from around the globe. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for making us part of your travel journey.